Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to share with you what was shown to me in the August 15th, 2025 meeting between Vladimir Putin, Russian leader, and the United States President, Donald Trump. So I did put a video out and I took it down, but I'm gonna go ahead and discuss it because it's pretty accurate to what I'm still being shown. So if you notice this little sketch I did, please ignore my handwriting, or let me say my drawing abilities, because I am out of practice quite a bit, but that's okay. It is a steel drum. I kept being shown bundles of these things, red, light blue, white colored, almost like the color of chevron. Well, these were those colors, mostly red and blue though. And I kept seeing them, they were steel drums. And I said, well, there's only one or two things that would be beneficial in those steel drums. Gas, oil. And of course, we know they put oil in these things. And gas, petroleum, but this is oil. So the target was the oil flow discussion that was brought up during that meeting on the 15th of August in Alaska. And I believe Vladimir Putin brings up the flow of oil as a lever of control. I don't see Trump suggesting it or even bringing it up, but it's almost like Putin puts a little bug in Trump's ear. And boy, did it work, okay? Because I'm not talking just barrels or drums per day, but the ability to choke and release supply to influence economies is how it was given to me. So another target, opt 2. Diplomatic exchange, oil securities. That's the overall energy feel for the second location of the conversation. So we put the bug in the ear and then we go into the diplomatic exchange. I don't see any conversation about Ukraine-Russia war, peace deal at that point. However, I do think it was discussed, but it wasn't the priority. All right, and then something else is Trump is and will be the front and center stage of this, but it's going to be done privately. I see meetings being conducted behind the scenes with other oil exporting states, say like the Middle East, of course, the Middle East. Now, I do know India runs I want to say the outpour, but this is about the flow, the Middle East. And remember what I said about Israel a few weeks ago. Israel will also play a role in this. And I see them having meetings, phone meetings, behind the scenes with Vladimir Putin and Trump as the mediator. Okay, so you got the Middle East, and then again, Israel plays a crucial role here. Could be United Arab Emirates, could be part of this as well. But this is significant, I believe. And I feel like we're gonna know when these things occur and take place and are somewhat finalized, because we're gonna hear of some sanctions possibly being lifted on Russia in some way. And we may also hear of India not being happy with the United States because they control the outer flow, I do believe. And I'm seeing a lot of the information that we learn regarding oil deals, Russia, United States, Middle East, it's going to come through India sources as well. Now, I see the relations between India and the US kind of not good. I get the feeling of disappointment with Modi, the leader of India. He just feels disappointed with how all this works out. And it's not really, I think Putin had an agenda, but I see Trump running with it and going overboard. I guess is what I'm seeing here. I think that what he has in mind is petro US dollar only. And then eventually down the road, if he could have it his way, because he loves Bitcoin, right, would be swapping oil for Bitcoin or paying for oil with Bitcoin. But I see that down the road. I don't see that in 2025. So at times to be looking out for this, if it comes to relevance, would be October, December 2025, even before that. But those are the stronger times. So October, November, December, we may learn of things through the media. But be careful what you're listening to. Because at the same token, I'm going to tell you, do not trust the media, as we are currently sitting strongly in an abyss of illusions. So watch out what news sources you are getting your information from. Honestly, if you could go right to India news source or Russia news source, even though people don't trust, I'm telling you, it's more reliable than what you're going to get in the Western countries, okay? Anyways, be careful where you're getting your sources from. Use your intuition, and if it feels like it's right, then it probably is. But don't listen to someone just because you trust them in the media. If they're getting paid to speak. So if someone on the outer sources want to change the narrative, they're going to go to the news speaker, say, hey, I'm going to give you a little extra. Say this, say that. But anyways, I just warning you that. But October, December 2025 will be significant. And I do believe that this is happening behind the scenes as we speak.